Welcome to This Explainer. Imagine if I told you that a single, simple decision you make this week, something that takes literally 10 minutes, could be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars by the time you retire. No way, right? But it's true. And it's not because you worked any harder or won the lottery, but simply because you tapped into a very specific mathematical force. We're talking about a force so powerful that Albert Einstein allegedly called it the eighth wonder of the world. In today's Explainer, we're going to decode exactly what that force is, how it's working behind the scenes, and how you can put it to work for your own financial life right now, even if you've got zero investing experience and honestly barely any cash to spare. Okay, let's kick things off with Section 1, the eighth wonder. What is compound interest? To really wrap our heads around this, let's completely forget about investing for just a second and start at square one. Imagine you lend a friend $5 and you say, hey, I need $6 back next week. That extra $1 you get, that's simple interest. It's basically just the fee someone pays you for the privilege of using your money. Pretty straightforward, right? Now, what's really fascinating is the contrast between the two main types of interest we see here. Over on the left, we've got simple interest. That means you earn the exact same fixed amount every single time. It literally never changes. But over on the right, that is compound interest. And this is where the math gets genuinely magical. Compound interest means you actually start earning interest on the interest you've already made. Your money makes money, and then that new money makes even more money. It's exactly like a snowball rolling down a massive hill. At the very top, it starts out super small. But the longer it rolls, the more snow it packs on. And the bigger it gets, the faster it grows, entirely on its own. Your money grows, and then the growth itself starts growing. All right, moving into Section 2, the snowball in action, the math of compounding. Let's look at how this builds using some real numbers. We'll use a 10% average return per year, which makes the math super easy to follow and, fun fact, is actually really close to the historical long-term average of the US stock market. So say you put a $100 bill into an account earning that 10%. In year one, 10% of 100 is 10, so now you have $110. Okay, nothing too crazy yet. But check out year two. You don't just earn 10% on your original 100, you earn 10% on the whole 110. That gives you $11 in growth, bumping your total up to 121. By year three, 10% of 121 is about $12, leaving you with 133. Notice how the amount you earn just keeps going up. It's accelerating entirely on its own, and you haven't added a single extra dollar. And this right here brilliantly illustrates the exponential jump over longer timelines. Fast forward to year 10. That original $100 is now worth about $259. You didn't touch it, you didn't add to it, but it more than doubled just by sitting there. Now stretch that out to 30 years. That exact same $100 bill balloons to over $1,700. That is the sheer power of time combining with compound interest. Which brings us right to Section 3, time beats money, the most important lesson. This is honestly one of the most crucial takeaways in this entire explainer. The golden rule here is that starting early matters significantly more than how much money you actually invest. I know, that sounds totally backwards. Most of us think, well, I'll just wait to invest when I'm older and making a better salary. But let me show you why that exact thought process is costing you an absolute fortune. Imagine two friends. Alex starts investing at 22, puts in $2,000 a year for just 10 years, and then totally stops, never puts in another dime. Jordan, on the other hand, waits until age 32 to start, but then dutifully invests $2,000 a year for 30 years straight, all the way to retirement at 62. Jordan literally put in 3 times as much of their own hard-earned money. So, I've got to ask you, who do you think actually wins this race when they both hit age 62? The person who invested for just a single decade, or the one who grinded it out for 3 whole decades? Get this, Alex actually wins. Yup, even though Alex stopped contributing decades earlier, Alex ends up with a bigger pile of cash than Jordan. Why? Because giving that money more time to compound in those early, crucial extra 10 years made absolutely all the difference. The time your money spends in the market is way, way more important than the total amount you put in. All right, let's shift gears to Section 4, where to earn it, putting compounding to work. Financial advisors always say the best time to start investing was yesterday, and the second best time is today. Not when everything is perfect, but today. So where do you actually put your money to get this? Well, you can start with high-yield savings accounts at online banks like Marcus or Ally. This is actually a fantastic way to see how compound interest works daily. Seriously. A lot of these accounts don't just calculate your interest once a year, they do it monthly or even daily. Every single day, your balance inches up, and the very next day, you earn interest on yesterday's tiny bit of growth. It is a relentless daily snowball. And for the big, long-term wealth, beginners use retirement accounts, like a 401k in the US, an ISA in the UK, a TFSA in Canada, or superannuation in Australia. You put your money in index funds inside those accounts, spread it across hundreds of top companies, and watch it compound over decades with some really sweet tax advantages. Let's look at Section 5, the compounding killer, what to avoid. Before you rush off to open one of those accounts, we have to talk about the one massive mistake that silently kills compounding before it even gets going. As we just saw, compound interest desperately needs time. Those first few years, they can feel pretty boring. I mean, earning $10 on 100 isn't exactly thrilling. The real mind-bending magic happens way later, in years 15, 20, and 25, when all that daily and yearly compounding has massively stacked up. But if you pull your money out the second life gets a little tough, or you just want to buy a flashy new car, you reset the clock. You instantly wipe out all that explosive future growth that was just sitting there waiting for you. So how do you protect your timeline? You absolutely must build a buffer. You've got to stash 3 to 6 months of living expenses in a regular savings account as an emergency fund before you go all in on investing. Why? Because when your car inevitably breaks down or the water heater explodes, you don't want to be forced to raid your investments. You keep that compounding chain totally unbroken. Let's quickly summarize the blueprint here. Step 1, get that 3 to 6 month emergency buffer in place so life's little surprises don't knock you off track. Step 2, start today. Even if it's literally just $20 a month, get that money into an account where it can start growing. And step 3, protect the timeline. Never withdraw early, sit on your hands, and just let time and the math do all the heavy lifting for you. You now hold the keys to a massive financial secret that, quite frankly, most adults never got taught in school. You have a real edge now. That snowball is just sitting at the top of the hill, and you know exactly how big and powerful it gets the longer you let it roll. The best time to start was yesterday. So, are you going to start putting it to work today?